So what do I see as potential ways to address this issue? First of all, I think, as has been stated here, we need to support local initiatives that are already underway and that are showing to be effective. There's been a number of references to Homeward 2020, which is an initiative started by the City of Fort Collins in collaboration with other groups, and I think we should do just to get the blood circulating, to a round of applause to Bryce Hawk, because I think he's doing an outstanding. And then, of course, one of my heroes is Sister Mary Alice Murphy, who's a legend in her own time. I reckon she deserves a round of applause as well. I really think it's important that we acknowledge that there are efforts that are showing to be effective. And again, I credit Homeward 2020 because they're looking at this goal, and it's important to have a goal, have a vision, because somewhere I read, without a vision, the people will perish. And so I think it is very important to have a goal of cutting or eliminating homelessness, certainly chronic homelessness, in 10 years. And so they're looking at doing this in various phases, and the first phase is targeting folks that are dealing with chronic homelessness. Other things that we ought to be supporting are things like the Homeless Prevention Initiative, another community-based effort that is also very successful. We know from the numbers that we save a great deal of money, and it's a better way to help people if we can prevent them from being homeless rather than addressing the issues once people are either in the shelters or perhaps on the streets or sitting on someone's couch. I'm pleased that it looks like we may be moving in the direction of establishing an interfaith hospitality network here in Fort Collins. I believe Loveland has one, or has had one, and I think that's really important because that gets to one of the things that I think is a critical part of this thing, and that is about relationships. You know, it's really easy to kind of separate ourselves from these issues, but we know that the line is often pretty gray in terms of us being on one side and folks that are dealing with these issues being on the other side. So building relationships is really critical, and I encourage people to do that as best as they can, and things like the Interfaith Hospitality Network are really important. At the state level, we have the Foreclosure Prevention Hotline, and that provides a very good resource, very good tools, working with groups like Neighbor to Neighbor, you know, to help folks deal with foreclosure issues. There's the continuum of housing. We need to continue to put resources properly because it's also an economic development activity. When we invest in housing, when we renovate, when we build affordable housing, we're actually creating jobs. I would work hard to try to establish a statewide housing investment fund. I would work to get the feds to do something. There we go. Wouldn't that be good?
My students